Hello, welcome to this Adobe Bridge, then we'll do Camera Raw, and then we'll do Photoshop tutorial. So we're going to start off with talking about Adobe Bridge. Now you may have images already, either you download them from Canvas, or you may have them from shooting. Maybe you have some from images you shot over the summer or last semester. But you just need a group of images to work with, preferably if you're shooting camera raw images, because we'll need them for the next two parts. But we'll just talk about Adobe Bridge. Now, the PDF, as you can see, says 2015. It's a little old, but the content is still the same. So we're going to open up Adobe Bridge. And Adobe Bridge is kind of like your Finder or File Explorer if you're a Windows person, with more detail. So it's not quite an image editor. It's sort of a digital asset manager, or a DAM, if you have heard that before. I've used similar proprietary programs in my employment. So getting comfortable with Bridge will be actually very helpful if you're looking for a career in digital arts. So we have Adobe Bridge, and yours may not look like mine, but I'm using the most updated version. And Adobe Bridge is sort of searching through your computer. Now, I have my SSD, my solid state drive, which is my MacBook. And then I have my external hard drive where I keep all my information. You may have something over here, which is sort of where you work. You can have favorites. You can have folders to work on. You can filter, preview, metadata. We have some information for viewing up here. I like to stick an essentials or film strip depending on what I'm working on. But let's look at some stuff. So if I double click on my hard drive, I can see all my stuff here. I try to be organized, as you can see. Some of the stuff is very generic, like stuff, student work. But we're going to go in to my folder for this class, and we're doing a demo, so I have everything organized, which you can see organization is very key, especially when we start talking about Lightroom. You want to be extremely organized. So I have some folders here, and I'm going to use the one 2020-08-19. You can also see I have some videos, PDFs. You can see a preview and some information on the right side. Application it was created in, document type, size, dimensions, date created, date modified. But if I go into here where I keep I'm going to keep some sample files. So you can see we have some information, which will kind of help us understand the EXIF data, which is, this is what this is, date created, document type, file name, file size, the dimensions, bit depth, color mode, my camera settings, auto, I use an auto exposure mode, not traditional auto, but I use a semi-auto, which will show up as auto. My focal length, my lens that I used, my aperture, maximum aperture I'm allowed to use on that lens. And that's the aperture I use. If I did fire flash. This is all sort of the information, detail out the camera I used, all that detail, which is really helpful to understand how you're shooting, what you're working with. You know, I had a changed white balance. I think I used a semi-auto mode for all of this. But I have just a few shots. And if I press my space bar, I can view it full screen, which is pretty cool. I can kind of get an idea, use my arrow keys to look at my images. I can press 1, 2, not 1, 2. Command 2 to rate it. As you can see, I have a star, so you can rate them. But that's sort of what we're going to be using Adobe Bridge for. It's sort of for organization. I use it to grade, to look at your files. I look at your EXIF data. I kind of thumb through your images, like so, like that. You can also rename your files. Renamed file 01 through here as well. You can batch rename your files as well, which could be really helpful. So for batch renaming, this could be really helpful. For example, if I was batch renaming for an assignment, I can go to batch rename. I have text, so grid demo. I can have a sequence number, so I could start at 1 with 2 digits, and my extension would be JPEG. I don't need to add that. I can rename that file. I can rename bulk of files. So they're all renamed to the specifications that I'm asking for, which can be really helpful instead of manually renaming them. I'll let you play around in Adobe Bridge for some time. There's a lot more details in Bridge, but play around just in Bridge, and in the next video we'll talk about actually processing your images in Adobe Camera Raw.